Hello and welcome back to my channel. So today I have another Sims 4 speed build for you, and actually I did this one on my own, which and what I mean by that is I didn't actually do it over on Twitch. I feel like it's been ages since I have built something without being on Twitch. So this was kind of fun, just being able to do a quick little speed build. And this is actually going to be a micro home in the Sims 4, by definition. Now, technically I did cheat a little bit. In order to make this work. Technically, that balcony you see there is a little cheaty. So I ended up, basically you can get around that tile requirement. If you do what I just did there, you saw that I actually drew 3 of the sides of the top there, and then I drew the 4th side and just placed it up there. If you do that, the Sims doesn't see it as a room, so it doesn't count those tiles, because honestly, that's not fair. If they were to count the roof as tiles, and I don't plan on using it for living space, I didn't want that to count against it being a micro home. But the balcony is a little cheaty. Technically, you shouldn't be using that if you're using the micro home, but The Sims does not see it that way, so you can totally use this, get all the benefits of the micro home if you have tiny living. And if you don't have tiny living, you can just download the micro house. This is already up on the Sims 4 gallery, so feel free to download that. It's under my ID Spice and Sprinkles, all one word and all lowercase, and down in the description if you want to see it written out. And oh my goodness, last week was so insane. I actually had one of my speed builds. It's now, I think, gotten over 2,000 views, which is so mind-blowing, and there are so many new people that have subbed to me, so welcome to all of you. This is so incredible. I literally all this whole week I've been so happy. It's been so amazing. So welcome to the channel. My name is Rachel. I do a lot of Sims 4 speed builds and a little bit of gameplay or build challenges. So if you have any requests or suggestions for build challenges or things that you want to see on the channel, be sure to let me know down below, or say hello if you're new. I would love to get to know you. It's just, it's just so insane. And also, don't forget to come visit me over on Twitch if you want to hang out and build. We basically just hang out, chat, and build the whole time. And it's actually a whole lot of fun. The link is down in the description as well if you want to head over there and follow me so that you know when I go live. Typically I go live Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursdays in the later afternoon Eastern time. So Tuesdays, I go live at 6 p.m. and then on Wednesdays and Thursdays, I go live at 3 p.m. And typically, I am streaming for about 3 hours. Now, having said that, I literally yesterday, so this is Friday when I am doing this voiceover. So yesterday on Thursday, I actually filmed for 8 hours. I was on Twitch for 8 hours building this. I'm so excited actually to show you this upcoming speed build, because it was, honestly, I think it's maybe one of my favorite builds, the one I'll have coming up a little bit later this week. But anyways, point is, come visit me over there. We would love to say hello to you and hang out. But anyways, back to this build. So in this first floor, I actually have the kitchen and dining and bathroom, and it's actually about to go over a whole makeover here. I changed everything around because I was things are not fitting quite right, and that kind of is a struggle I feel in these micro homes, is how do you fit everything in and make it very functional. So I actually ended up putting the kitchen along that wall, and then we just moved things around a little bit. I wanted to have a big door in the back leading out to that beautiful yard, but I needed a 1 tile wide door, not a 2. That was just not going to work with the space, and I couldn't give up that kind of space. So I ended up just putting in a smaller door, and then we actually have a really sizable bathroom for a micro home. So I feel usually in micro homes you end up with a 2, maybe 3 tile bathroom, and you usually have to do those things where you might put the shower over the sink just to get it to work, or the shower's right in front of the door when you walk in, which is totally functional and totally fine to do. I was just actually really excited that I could fit in a 2x2 bathroom. I thought that was absolutely insane, and including in it a little dining table over here. And I will say that when I was taking my screenshots, the Sims could not use that dining table, or at least one of the chairs, but don't worry, it is fixed. What is on the gallery is usable, and when you download it, you shouldn't have any problems. I made sure all of it worked properly before uploading it, which is actually really nice. When it comes to taking screenshots, I get to see like what things didn't work when I was building. And I know that it looks like this toilet's a little bit close to the sink. Don't worry, you can use it. The Sims can still get around it. It's all good. They can still use this space. And honestly, this is quite a lovely build. I feel like I kind of kept the clutter to a minimum. Again, I kind of wanted this to be like a minimalist micro home, and I feel like if you're living in a micro home, it's probably a good thing to be, you know, not having a lot of stuff and clutter everywhere because there's just not that much room. And I used these kitchen cabinets because it had all those open shelving under there, so I could get clutter in there without actually cluttering up a bunch of surfaces. And I will also say the game was upset about the clutter I put on the kitchen counters. But again, don't worry, I fixed it, so you shouldn't have any issues at all. Your Sims can cook, all that kind of good stuff. Be sure to check out the screenshots at the end of this for proof. Your Sims can use this, all of the things really well. And I just love the screenshots so much, taking them with Sims. And I keep thinking about making like a hashtag for people to be able to upload their own like families or households or whatever to the gallery, and like writing descriptions for them so that I can build things for them. Like I feel like that would be a whole lot of fun. So let me know if that is something you're interested in, because that would be really awesome to see what you all want to see and your different family compositions, and you know, being able to do things that I wouldn't necessarily think about. It's really exciting. And I do end up using the Murphy bed. So I do use the Murphy bed up here. You could swap the Murphy bed out for an actual bed. So if you don't have tiny living, you can easily just put a bed there. But I used it so that it could kind of also be a living room space up here, and your Sims can use that bed. You can have two Sims in here, they scoot over and all that kind of good stuff. So you shouldn't have any issues with being able to have your Sims sleep. All of that should be really good to go. And then just adding a few things in here and using those beautiful curtains that we got with the Desert Luxe kit, because honestly, they're my favorite curtains. I love them so much. Like, they're just very simple. We have all three wall heights. Like, yes, like, and that was so exciting to be able to do that and have the option of making it really look like you can kind of pull the curtain shut. So, you know, you don't have to like pretend. I feel like I always pretended. I would put something up and be like, just pretend that you would just pull the curtain over and cover up the window. But here you can actually like feel like you're putting in a track up there. So it looks really nice. And I am using several new items from the two kits we just got, so the Pastel Pop and the Everyday Clutter kits. So like those candles there, I have a hat up there, and like the shoebox. But obviously, like if you download this and don't have those packs, that's not too big of a deal. You can easily just not have that or replace that clutter. And as always, as a reminder, if you download this off the gallery, do whatever you want with it. If you just want to use it as a floor plan, but you want to completely gut it and redo it, then please, by all means, do so. And just because I use particular Sims for my screenshots or the way I was thinking about who would live here, that obviously does not mean that you have to play that way. Please use this however you would like to and play however you would like to. That's obviously like your game and up to you. But I always like to say that because I don't want people to feel like they have to use this build a certain way, or they need to keep it that way, or that would offend me if they want to change this build around. That's obviously just totally up to you. And I did use a lot of stuff, I think, from Eco Lifestyle. Is that right? I don't know why that all of a sudden that sounds not right. Like, that's not actually what the pack is called. But I used a lot of that because it just looked so nice here, a little bit industrial, very clean. And I used this like glass fencing. And I wanted to keep this very clean, not super cluttered, and just like this minimalist look. So I do put in a driveway, and I feel like I've been doing that a lot lately, but I just like it. It makes it feel more real to me, like more realistic to have a car in the driveway, although that's not really a thing we can use in The Sims, but I like to pretend and just have it there. Of course, you can use that space for whatever you want to, or take the car out. And I did put a little fountain in the pool, and your Sims can still swim around and not have any problems. I also put like the little bubble machine at the bottom of that pool because I just really like that effect, and it just looks very lovely when your Sims are swimming around and you have that going on there. And then just adding a little bit, like I put that little hedge in there as kind of like a privacy thing, you know, from the street there on the front, which is kind of funny because I used a glass fence and you can definitely just see through the side of the yard. I mean, it, you know, you have privacy on the front, but not all the way down the side, even though there's like a, you know, giant, like sidewalk right there. Like, there were Sims walking everywhere. And actually, when I was taking the screenshots, you'll actually see coming up, I also take video of the Sims when they're in this home. And it was so rude. I was having the Sims propose to each other in the front of the house. The male person walks right by. So unfortunately, you will see a male person walk by in that footage. And then, like, it was so funny. I cut the rest of it out, but somebody else walked by. I was like, you can't be serious. Like, I'm sitting here trying to have this romantic moment and videotape it for my for my speed build, and I have all of these random Sims walking around while I'm trying to do stuff. But, you know, I feel like that's just, you know, par for the course when dealing with Sims. They just kind of do whatever they want. And so that's what they did. So pardon that Sim just kind of walking through the video that you'll see here in the end, and actually pretty soon. But we end up having here this nice grilling space, a nice place for entertainment, and some loungers and a pool. So it's really just a nice place to hang out. And like I said, I've got some screenshots coming up, so be sure to stick around for those to see how those turned out and see like what it looks like from the Sims point of view. And like I said, please leave a comment down below if you enjoyed this. If you have any suggestions, or if you just want to say hello, I'd love to hear from you. And be sure to like and subscribe if you enjoyed this video. And I hope you have a really sweet day. Bye, everybody.